maybe.
Hey, guys! That's our workbench right there.
Yeah.
How's it going?
These are our hands.
They are. How are you today? Hi!
I made it Tony. I forgot to switch it.
Made it Tony.
That's all right. We're a little dark over here, Justin. We are a little bit. I mean, not that I don't love the bags under my eyes to be accentuated, but sometimes you don't like that when you're in your 30s. Alrighty. Hello. Look at this. We've got Dallas, Texas. We have Ohio, Arizona. Everybody's saying hi.
Hello.
From where they're, woo! From where they're from. Justin's like, yeah. He's like, you want to be bright. I will make you bright. Okay. Well, I am super excited because this is my blazer that we're going to put some cool leather lapels on today.
Yeah.
From this cool guy. So we have one done already.
But we aren't going to show that to you yet.
But we're not going to show you yet. So we're just going to start from the beginning. Denny, tell us how would you start creating a sweet leather lapel?
All right. Let me get this over here where I can kind of get to it. This is our lapel that we're going to work on. How about the overhead? Can we do that? Yeah. I just took a piece of heavy paper and slipped it under this lapel.
Ooh.
To where it was snug, about where it needed to be. Then I took my little pencil.
I love a good pencil.
And I drew around it like this. Then I made myself a mark up here because this is where the top is. Then I kind of looked underneath and made a mark right there where that is.
Denny's really doing his eyeball math right now.
Yeah, this is what I do, folks. Then I went like this. And I went like this.
Oh.
And I don't know if you can, I didn't mark this very dark, but I have this mark here.
Yep, there's a line there.
But anyway, then I cut this out, and then I set it on top of there to see if everything worked out right. And it didn't. I had to trim it just a little bit because it was a little bit large.
Right.
But I trimmed it a little bit, and look what we ended up with.
Look at this.
Right here, we have perfection almost, but not quite. But this is what we're going with.
Alrighty.
So this is the final pattern that I used. And then I cut myself a piece of leather like this.
And did you just mimic it? You didn't do a pattern for each side? You just
No, I had the boys in R&D. I just used the same pattern for both. That way they'll both end up the same.
Right.
Otherwise, you might be kind of whopper-jawed.
Nobody wants to be whopper-jawed. No.
But anyway, then I got myself a piece of leather. This is a 4 to 5 ounce piece. And I taped the back side of it. And then I drew myself a pattern.
He drew the best pattern, guys.
Well, I drew one pattern, and Liz says, how about a bird?
How about a bird?
Why don't we put a bird on it? So I drew a pattern with a bird on it.
Incoming. There we are.
There we are. See our little bird up there on its branch?
Isn't he cute? He's real wispy.
But anyway, I drew 2 of these. The first one, you couldn't hardly see the bird because I had too much other stuff covering it up.
There's too many chicken necks behind your bird.
Too many chicken necks in a bird. Yeah. So anyway, then I took, this is the other side here, but I drew the pattern on here, and I've cut part of it. But I also actually did a complete one.
What?
Yeah. And here we have it.
Look at that.
That's what we're going to go for.
So today Denny's going to mostly tool leather. Sorry, I just had a piece of leather fall down on the camera. Denny will tool some leather, and then we will show you how to sew this on. We're going to be using a class 26, and we'll just decide whenever the end of our video is, and then we'll attach this one lapel that is finished.
At some point, you can use basting tape or double-sided tape and put this on here and maybe stick it on there where it goes.
Alrighty, I've got some of that, so we can do that.
Yes, and I brought some too, by the way.
Double taped.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to set this here.
For a little reference. Look how pretty that is, guys. I'm so excited. For those of you that didn't know, bird is kind of my nickname around these parts because apparently I'm a little bit squawky and I like to perch places.
Chirpy.
I'm chirpy.
All right, I'm going to cut this.
Man, we've got so many. We've got Oregon up in here. New Jersey said hi. California. We've got William from Missouri. We've got the whole thing. Anybody is Omar in here yet? I think he's our resident outsider.
Do we have an outsider?
He's the outsider that's the insider. He's on the inside club. I just love it.
Do you?
I do. I think it's great.
It kind of grows on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Liz, are you doing the tooled collar too? I mean, this is my blazer, Crystal. I'm not doing anything. Denny's going to tool it. Oh, I understand. No, not this time. She was asking if we were going to do the collar tooled.
Oh.
I mean, I guess you could. You could do the same thing, make your pattern for the collar out here, but we did not do that.
You know, in the past, I've seen like the old Levi jackets. I've seen them do the collars on those.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, jazz up your blazer however you want to jazz it up. We've got Austin, Texas, and Los Angeles.
What's going on in LA right now?
Yeah, Don, what's up in LA? How's that smog going for you? I was there last year. It was very smoggy.
True to its name.
Mary Jane is working on an inlay with one of the cabs that they purchased. Oh my goodness, doing lapels with stones in them. What?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be awesome. Is it too late?
Yes. It's way, way too late.
Ooh, that's big. Okay. It's the whole page. You're fine. I don't know if Tony's watching on his drive, but everybody say hi to Tony. He's on his way to Iowa for a softball game today. Hopefully he doesn't have to do that. Hopefully it's not raining up there like it's raining here. So that he doesn't have to in the rain. That sounds terrible. Yeah.
Ump in the rain.
Ump in the rain. He did say that if it gets real chilly outside, he'll go. He's got a wetsuit, and he'll bring his wetsuit to the game, and he'll put that on under his little uniform that he has to wear. Helps keep him warm.
A wetsuit. Huh?
Uh-huh.
Wow. He just thinks of everything. He's probably been wet before.
He probably went through a game and was like, okay, well, that was dumb.
Yeah.
I need to figure out how to not do that again.
We're not ever going to do that again.
Leather Masters Casey, I don't know if you heard, this is 4 to 5 ounce. I feel like for these, you really want to go as light as you can.
Yeah.
So that they're not too bulky. I am curious to figure out how I'm going to clean it. I guess I'll take it to the cleaners and be like, hey, do you do jackets with leather patches?
Do what you can do.
Your hand is really in the way.
Oh.
All right, he switched. It's good. We'll watch from above for a second. Ooh, Crystal, that sounds fun. Apparently there's somebody on Etsy that makes a dragon eye cabochon. They're going to get and do something with. That would be, you could have dragon eye lapels. Or you could put them on, like, if you do a collar, you could put them on the back of your collar so it looks like you're looking at the people behind you. Really freak them out.
That would be fun. Yeah. All right, I'm going to start making noise here, folks.
You're good.
You're good. I'll work her.
We'll go over here. Leather Masters, how do you suggest that they clean their vest? I get real sweaty, so I'm gonna have to have it cleaned somehow. Attach with Velcro and then take them off. Denny did think about that.
I think a dry cleaner could do a good job.
Yeah.
I really do. There are some dry cleaners that specialize in leather apparel.
Oh, no. Not cleaning the leather masters. I mean, like, cleaning the garment that it's on. Are the patches removable that you put on? Or are they permanent? Don says that the smog strengthens the lungs.
It strengthens the lungs. Okay, that's a good rationalization.
I have to say, I'm a pretty big fan of this bird art style that we've done.
I know, isn't it cool?
Of what?
Justin really likes your bird too.
Oh, cool.
I like that. I like the stick that's coming up out of here that you've got him perched on. He kind of got called like a herring or something, some sort of a waterish
dodo bird.
Yeah, and then he said a dodo bird, and I was like, well, that's pretty perfect.
It kind of, this little top knot it has kind of reminds me of Big Bird, too.
Uh-huh. I like Big Bird.
Yeah.
He taught me a lot of things when I was young. Like how to be nice and kind.
At times. Other times, he failed. All right. This is getting pretty dry, and I would love to wet this, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to... I usually do my whole border before I start tooling the rest of it. But this bird is pretty delicate, and I don't want it too wet, so I'm going to...
He's going to carve him now.
I'm going to start doing it right now.
Guys, are you excited? Hey, Michael, welcome to YouTube. I do see your little comments over there. He's tooling a shoe kit.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, he was working. He sent me some pictures, and he was working on the tongue of the sneaker kit, and he was tooling it, and he did one tongue inverted carving and one tongue regular, and that was kind of fun. And I think he was deciding which way he wanted to go, and then he would do the opposite that he needed. Yeah.
I kind of got the idea for this bird off of an old Al Stolman inverted pattern.
Oh, the book that we were using with Kevin last week, probably.
Yeah, this is real similar to the one he did.
Okay.
Because I'm not much of an artist. I didn't copy this, but I came close.
Let's see here. Can I ask, are you doing the edges facing the design or towards the outer edge? So he beveled into the design.
Yeah, the idea of the border is it acts like a frame to a picture, and the picture goes underneath the frame. So you always want to bevel to the inside of a border.
Mm-hmm.
Always, that's a pretty general term. There are exceptions to every rule, of course.
I just want to let everybody know that I read your comments. I've got this screen up here and all the comments come through. And sometimes I might look at it and be like, oh, that fits into the segment right at this moment. Or sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll wait a minute or two and then we'll flow into it. So don't think that I don't see it. I see it and I will get to it. I promise.
And I cannot read what's up there. So I need help.
Sherry says, I love your explanations. They're funny and clear.
And clear. Good funny is all I'm after, really.
That's all we need. We just want to be funny.
It might not look like it, but these little features are pretty small.
Denny had he had this flower. So this flower that's down here, he had it as his main feature up here when I first saw the pattern. And I was like, we're gonna do something different because I like to challenge this guy.
You just love to see failure, don't you?
No, you didn't fail. Is that dead weight easy to make? Yeah, Don, it's super easy to make. This is probably just deer skin, and then filled with lead shot. So
Yeah, just stitch it all around, except for just a little bit that you can pour your lead shot into. And then hand stitch the rest or put it on the machine.
yeah.
Oh, I about got a little bird head done.
Birds are little delicate things.
They are.
I saw.
Especially their little face.
Yeah. I saw a video this morning of this person that does like these really fun earrings, and they had done a skull of some sort of a bat, and I forget the type of bat, but he was a little tiny guy, and it's the fastest mammal in the world, and it can fly at like 70 miles an hour, maybe it was 100, I don't know, it was something crazy, but it's this tiny little bat, and its skull was maybe this big, Denny.
Wow.
It was tiny. And so if you look up the fastest mammal, maybe you can find whatever bat it is that I'm talking about. But that was something that I didn't know. I hadn't heard that.
Well, I hadn't either.
Hey there, Wayne.
I'll tell you what, the people that excel in doing little tiny figure carving like this, I admire them.
Oh, yeah. They probably find some of those extra tiny tools.
Yeah, you have to be very patient to do this. I told a guy one time that I didn't have the patience to do something, and he said, "No one has patience. You have to be patient."
We should make a shirt that says that and give it to Tony.
It's an action.
Look at that fancy watch you got on. Look at that. That's my color, sir.
I got me a new watch. Yes, I did. Quite a while back. I've had it for quite a while, but
That's pretty.
I've had long sleeves. Yes, it is, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
It just shines.
Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna cry the first time I scrape it on a concrete wall or something.
That's why he doesn't wear it very often. Michael, that's awesome to hear. He says that he's been learning a lot from us and it helps him in his leather work, and his granddaughter's now interested in leather working, and she's just 12 years old, and he's so excited to be able to share that with her. So that's awesome. I think somebody had sent some pictures of their granddaughter making a coaster, and I apologize that I don't remember who it was, but I do remember those pictures, and that was awesome that they shared that they were doing your little beginner's tooling class
that's
with the
nice.
coasters.
Wonderful. I hope my hands aren't completely covering up what I'm doing.
You're doing good. Michael, I have it on my desk. I'm gonna send it at some point. I printed it out. It has your name on it. Anyways, I'll get it out at some point. I probably should fold it. I have it rolled up, which is inconvenient to ship, so I just need to fold it and then ship it. We'll get it out. Yeah, that was you. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for sharing.
You know, little kids that are in there when someone else is doing leather work, they always want to do it, and you hand them a piece of leather and a mallet and a tool, and they'll just beat the heck out of it, and just have the best time. Sometimes they even make something kind of cool, A lot of the kids that I remember one of Rusty's little girls. Rusty and Lindsay's little girls came in, and they were beating around on leather one day and made me a deal and wrote on it, said, "You're my favorite." And so I have that hanging up.
Aww. That's cute.
But I know she was only joking.
Freedom, I don't think so. I haven't heard. I know that we've been struggling this week to find some tools to fill orders. So I don't think that they're in yet. I'll have, once everything is in stock, I'll have Tony and maybe Abigail make a post that it's available to purchase on social, and then maybe we'll put it on our website like as a banner that's like, oh, now you can buy Denny's tool sets or something. We'll do something so that you guys know that it's there.
And the next day they'll all be out of stock.
Hopefully not. Hopefully we ordered plenty.
They're gonna be that popular.
Aw. Crystal says her 4-year-old tries to do everything that mommy does.
That's-
So she has her own little rawhide mallet. She gets to tootle around.
How cute.
That's what William said, verbatim. Maybe.
Oh, sorry.
Nope. Yeah, that's good.
I had to do that.
Yes, Star Ridge, they did all go out. I don't remember. There was at least 1 or 2 people, but Star Ridge was not one of them. They did go out. If you don't have one or you think that you're missing something, shoot me an email live at Springfield Leather, and I will check it after this. But they were out by 5 o'clock last night. So if this was your first time shopping with us, you might check your junk folder. But it does come from live@springfieldleather.com. And so sometimes people get a little bit confused by that first because it's not just Springfield Leather. So check your emails for an email from live@Springfield Leather. What size beveler is he using?
I'm using about 5 different sizes. I've got
You do have all of them.
for the border. I've got one that's about 3/8 of an inch, maybe 5/16. And then I've got a 1/4 inch, and I've got an 1/8 inch, and I've got a
Are these all Berry King checkers?
No.
No.
This is a Berry King. I've got 2 or 3 Berry Kings, but then the rest of them are all
The stars. So they're just a steep
they're
beveler.
all SKs. Yeah.
Okay.
But
He's using all of them.
yeah, the point is use the biggest beveler you can use without leaving little tracks behind yourself.
No, that's not going to work.
No. I thought of that as soon as I did it. You're pretty gruff with it.
That was one thing that Jeff always gave me a hard time about, because I trained him when he started here on retail. And, computers weren't really his thing. Like, they're not really your thing.
He wasn't as good at them as me.
I think you guys were pretty similar as far as computer use. And so I would stand behind him and he'd be checking somebody out, up on retail. And he'd go to do something and I would just say no.
No.
Nope. And then he would stop for a second and he'd think about it. And then he'd try to do something else. And, it couldn't, it may or may not. But if he's going the wrong way again, I'd be like, nope.
My mom's where he's like, his hands moving, he's looking at you, like, that's the right way to go.
It was a good. Let's see here. Huh. Those new, Michael's like, would those new Blevins buckles work good for strapping down loads on trailers?
It would be hard to.
You don't have.
Yeah, they aren't that adjustable. You have to have a set of holes.
I was gonna say, like, it not like if you're ratchet strapping and you need that kind of like mobility in your length, because it's like to have the leather straps. If you have a very finite situation, like you have an old Model T and you need to hold the trunk down, yeah, you'd be fine. You can make it set, but you only have, how much ever leather amount of holes adjustability. So maybe in like very specific situations, but not overall.
Yeah.
I think the ratchet strap, number one, it's nylon and it's gonna go through all sorts of weather. And then you can just like leave it in the back too if you wanted to. I wouldn't leave my leather strapping. And then you can't really tie it off. That seems like that would be more complicated than just those handy dandy ratchet strips.
It wouldn't be ideal, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As far as the size bevelers that I'm using, you could get by with just 2 or 3 different sizes for something like this, but you're better off having an array to choose from. Some of these, I wish I had a smaller beveler than I have even, but I'm getting by pretty well with what I've got.
Did he need some of those like carving tools that people use to carve their really fancy like coin-sized horse figures?
Yeah,
That always blows my
those
mind.
people disturb me.
They get their magnifying setup out, just like the cute, adorable ladies that take all of our beading classes with
Yeah.
their magnifying headgear. They go to town. Omar's here. Hey, Omar. Look at his wispy little tail. I tell you what, bird watching is what makes the trip to Kansas City go by in a decent clip. I just look for one hawk to the next
Oh yeah?
on my way up. Yep.
Oh yeah, on the way.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my wife's favorite things is hawk counting.
I mean,
You
it's
know,
fun.
People used to count Volkswagens and stuff like that.
We
Not-
count
not
hawks.
you or my wife.
Crystal's working on some fighting bucks.
Oh yeah?
What does that mean?
Deer?
Oh.
They're having antler fights.
Hi, Karen.
You say something like that and I always feel like I need to say hi, Karen, back.
You can do that.
Hi, Karen. I'm kind of getting anxious to see Ed LeBar.
I know.
What his class is like.
We're getting down to our countdown. He'll be here starting on the 17th, so we're less than a month away. For those of you that are in the area and would like to take an Ed LeBar class, or you're close enough where you can make a trip to take an Ed LeBar class, he will be here April 17th through the 21st. He has 3 different classes that he will be teaching. There is a beginner's class that is a 2-day class. To do a roper wallet with 2 beautiful oak leaves and then a really cool basket weave pattern on the back. And then you have 2 advanced classes, one that's a circular basket weave, like a radial basket weave, and then he does his oak leaf.
He also does a lot with his coloring, right?
Yes, yeah. And so that's the I'm pretty excited to watch that part and see
Yeah,
how he
me
does
too.
all of his coloring. But he will be here, so you can sign up for the class. For those of you that have already signed up, we will probably start contacting you about payment for the class starting around the 1st of April. But we've got about 10 spots in each class, and I think about half of them are full at this point. So go to the website. There is a banner on the website that you can click on, fill out the application, let us know which class you would like to take, and we will get in contact with you. We'll put your name on the list, and then we'll give you a holler once we start finalizing all of that. So I'm super excited. This will be our kind of second guest teacher that we've had come through. We had Jim Linnell last year, and we'd like to start doing it a little bit more. Because I don't feel like we've really had a lot of that here in our local
we
area.
haven't.
So
Yeah.
we have you, which is great.
Kerry Schwartz was here about 3 or 4 years ago, but he wasn't here at the store. He came in for someone else. But But he did come by the store, and I think we furnished a lot of material for his class.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go. I wish I would have. But Kevin didn't invite me to go.
Oh, that punk.
That punk.
Michael, we did a whole video on leather suspenders. So go, if you just type in suspenders to our YouTube channel, you should find that video. Denny talked about sizing them, the couple of different hardware options that you can do, the different attachments. So all of it is there. We've done that already. It's ready for you to check it out. Attack set. Didn't you and Tony do some tack? Did you do a head stall and a breast collar?
I forget.
I know that we've done some tack, Crystal. Oh, she would like a scene with some owls on the tack set.
On the tack set? Wow. Those would be little bitty owls.
I know that.
You're talking bird type stuff here. Small bird.
Isn't it like the head stall and breast collar mostly straps?
Yeah.
Yeah. We do have a pattern. We do have a pattern pack, Crystal, that's got the whole headgear set up for horses.
Yeah, and I do have tooling patterns with it too.
Mm-hmm.
But no owls in it. I've never done an owl.
Well, we'll have to change that.
Yeah. I've never done this bird before either.
Wayne, Ed will be the Friday, the last day that he's here. There aren't any classes, and he will be doing, we haven't figured out what it is that he'll be doing. We might have him do some of his coloring. We still have to kind of hammer out those details, but he will be on the live here with me and Denny that Friday. So he's got classes Monday through Thursday, and then we will finish up the week doing our live here with Ed.
You know, I'm usually not here on Mondays and Tuesdays, but I might make it a point to come in one of those days.
You know what? You should give Ed a holler and see what you guys want to do that Friday for your video.
I think we should do trading cards.
Oh.
Is what I think Ed and I should do.
That would be, okay, we could do that. I would like that. We just sit and tool and talk.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Tony's chatting with us while driving. Hey, Tony. He's in Iowa. He made it. He asked if you drew him a girth. Were you supposed to draw him a girth?
No, not that I'm aware of. Maybe,
Nope. Tony, I think that was a conversation you had with yourself.
Maybe a back cinch, yeah.
Oh, a back cinch.
I think that might be what you're talking about, Tony. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've been corrected so many times by him because I was wrong.
Oh, no. Don't give him that, Denny. You say, no.
Well, he corrects me, but I still don't believe him. How's that? See, you're not here right now, Tony. I can say anything I want to.
That is correct.
He might correct that, too. All right. Where's that little thing going through? Right there.
Oh, did you see that, Crystal? Michael said that Elk Track, which is Ed LeVar, he's got two videos on.
Elk Track is...
Jim Linnell. I'm sorry. I get those confused. Ed LeVar is the bear. This is the bear.
Yeah,
and
bear
then
man.
we have the elk and the bear.
Okay, then Denny, what are you? If they're an elk and a bear.
Denny's a flower.
Yes, sir. I'm a flower, okay.
Denny's a flower. It would be fun to do an owl. You did that peacock with Clayton a long time ago.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. And I've been forcing you to do all sorts of pictures.
That was my downfall right there.
Oh, was it?
After that, yeah.
That was the beginning of the end.
It just got wild.
I think an owl would be fun.
I do too. My wife would love an owl. That's her.
Hi, Heath.
It's her spirit animal.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty cool. Nope. Good job.
How's that?
I love it.
If you love it, I love it.
Tony, if you're still watching, Garrett Olson says if you get lost and make it all the way to Minnesota, he'll buy you a beer. So just keep driving. I know you love it.
Keep on driving. All
Hi,
right.
sweetie.
Now I'm going to wet this again because I'm done with my bird.
Let's check this bird out.
Does that be better for you?
I think that's good. Look at that little guy. Nope. This
I
way.
like it.
I like his little beak in his eye.
Uh-huh. He's got a bit of a scowl on, which I like.
Yeah,
I
he's
appreciate
kinda
that.
giving
Yep,
us a
little
side
side eye. That's my favorite look. I love it. Cool. All right. Has Denny ever tooled a panel for a denim jacket?
A panel.
Like a back panel? Like a back piece for a denim jacket? What do you?
No. Actually, this is the first clothing that I've ever tooled.
I was gonna say, unless you're talking about chaps.
I've tooled a lot of
Chaps.
things, but clothing is not one of them that I've done a lot of. But doesn't mean I won't. Whoops, I can't do that. Had to catch myself before you did. Because you were getting ready, I could tell.
Everybody says amazing. Garrett, Tony says you can come to him and heckle him and he'll buy the beer.
Oh, I want to finish tooling.
You can come yell at him when he makes calls on the plays. You can be like the harasser.
Yeah. The heckler.
You can be the fan in the stands heckling the umpire when they make silly calls. I'm sure he would love that so much.
He's probably got a list of comebacks for anything anyone could say to him. Anytime you think it's time to start putting the
Well, it's 11:39. I figured I'd let you tool for like another 10 minutes, and then we'll attach this one.
okay.
See how I feel like you're getting to your regular part, which
Yeah.
might go pretty fast.
It'll sure go faster than the bird. Birds are slow going for me.
You guys should do a Western shirt, like a leather Western shirt. I have clothing. You know what, guys? I did try the clothing thing once. It didn't go great. Like, and all y'all out there knew it. That was not my best hour and a half. That was probably one of the worst things that I feel like I've ever experienced. I did not enjoy that video. I was like, this is going to be great. It's just a simple skirt. It's going to be real easy. No. It's not. It's still sitting in the bag. I haven't fixed it. I don't want to look at it.
You guys out there in radio land, you don't realize what pain and mental anguish we go through sometimes.
Michael, we do recommend tape on the back, and in fact, that is taped.
Yes, they're both pieces.
Yeah.
Well,
this one
one's
was,
not,
but it's not now.
Yeah, I took the tape
But
off.
definitely taped. It is, especially with something like this, you do not want it to stretch over the size that you have allocated on your lapel. That wouldn't go good. So definitely tape on the back.
A lot of people use that blue painter's tape.
Mhm.
I like the just regular packing tape, but I don't think I feel like the blue painter's tape can stretch a little bit, especially if you're really getting down and dirty with a piece of leather, and
I
doing
mean,
some
you've
heavy
carved,
stamping.
yeah, like every inch of this has backgrounding, some sort of tooling on it. So you really got to prevent that stretch.
Yeah.
And I also feel like, tooling your leather at the appropriate time when it's not too wet, because the wetter it is, kind of the more it can stretch out or the more you can compress it.
Yeah.
So making sure that it has the correct moisture content, it's not too wet before you start tooling, because that, that
Yeah,
doesn't help.
that's why that's why I quit tooling beveling the border and started on the bird because the leather was getting really dry. But when it's very wet, it's really the leather is soft
Yeah.
and it's easy to misshape things. And when you're doing something real fine like that, you definitely need to be careful of that.
Exactly, Michael. You guys mess up in the privacy of your own homes with your own eyes. We mess up with 100 people watching, judging, and us judging. You know how hard you judge yourself when you mess something up? We do too.
I used to, but shoot, I'd be in jail all the time if I judged myself.
And he would be in leather jail.
Leather jail, yeah.
Yeah, Michael, I will never forget the first time that I kind of learned about leather stretching when I, first started working here. I was on the leather side. I had a really good customer that had come in. He used to come in all the time, and I think, he's moved away since then, but he had started making holsters, and he had tooled, he had cut out both pieces of his holster, and he had tooled the front side all up, like I think it was like a total basket weave or something, and he got done with it, and it was significantly larger than the back side that he had cut out before, and he comes in, and I was still just a couple months new at that point in my leather journey, and so that was not something that I had experienced yet. There's only so much training that you can give someone. You can't necessarily you can't go over everything that might happen when you're leather working with a new employee. You would spend a year training that person before they ever started helping anybody. So anyway, so this guy comes in, and I think his name was Ben. I'm pretty sure his name was Ben. So he comes in, and we gotten to be a decent, acquaintances at that point. And he's like, Liz, what happened? And I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know. So we went, and we probably found Kevin or Rusty. And I was like, guys, what went wrong? And that's when I learned the whole thing about you got to tape the back of your leather. You don't want it to be too wet. And so Ben and I learned together, and then we sent him home with a new piece of leather that was on us for him to cut out that part and try again.
And he was happy.
Yep, and he was happy, and that's what we do here. So I will never forget that.
Well, those hard knock lessons they're definite.
Yeah.
You remember them.
Yeah, and that wasn't even my mistake, but I will gladly do the thing where you learn from other people's mistakes. Take that lesson.
You could probably
Start.
take
Okay.
that flour.
Sherry says that she has trouble with how wet to get her leather. Oh, you have tape right here.
You're better off having it way too dry.
Yeah.
As long as you can create a burnish when you stamp, where the leather gets dark underneath your stamp, you've got more than enough moisture in it.
Yeah, erring on the side of too dry.
Yes. You can always add a little bit of moisture, but if you get your leather too wet, it takes a long time for it to dry back to toolable.
And then you really, that's when you have to practice your patience, because you don't want to just keep going, because then you're going to end up with worse issues.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and if your leather is too wet, you can still work with it. There's only one sweet spot, and it doesn't last very long when the leather is just perfect.
Yeah.
So you've kind of got to deal with the whole scenario. But, when your leather is a little too wet, you have to be very careful, you know, with what you're doing and use a lot of finesse. You can't just pound the heck out of a piece of wet leather and expect it to look good because it's so mushy.
I'm going pretty far in here on my basting tape because I do not want it to show in the seam. And if it gets a little bit dirty, I also don't want that to show on the edge. So I'm giving myself at least 1/8 of an inch away from the border so that I don't have basting tape.
I would say put a piece or two down the middle too.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure how much, because we've got 2 layers here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure if that's going to crawl or not. I hope it doesn't.
Don't want crawling denim.
Nope, nothing worse than crawling down. Yeah, and you guys, this is the first time for this, so be prepared for anything.
But the great thing about fabric is that you can't tell when, well, like you can pull everything out.
Yeah.
Leather's not so much. So Denny might have to tool another one, but I won't have to buy another jacket.
You hope.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Alright. That's he's got me. That's what I'm doing as far as basting tape goes. So now I'm gonna stick her down.
Yeah, and I would start up here
Mm-hmm.
sticking because you aren't sure where you're going to end up down there at the bottom. My opinion.
I'll take it. Yeah, I think the bottom matters as much as the top.
Well, yeah, and you know the way that was pleated to begin with, it was a little different from one side to the other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't remember which side I actually made the pattern from. But now they'll both be the same.
Yeah, Denny's like, you'll never have to press your lapels again. To whomever asked that you can soak, what is this? Hang on. To whomever asked that you can soak the leather till all the bubbles are gone, then let it dry a little.
You have to let it dry a lot.
I was going to say, then put it in a Ziploc overnight.
That's, some people still do that and get along very well with it, but
That's called casing, right?
yes.
Like,
Well,
the most
this,
extreme
this
version
is
of
casing too, but it's quick casing.
Yeah.
You know, if you get the leather that wet, it takes a long time for it to dry out to desirable moisture content. I don't do it. I know there's a lot of people that still do that, and
That do it.
I'm sure they get along with it.
Those for you, Tony.
You know, if you've got a piece of leather and you draw a pattern on it, and if you're wanting to start tooling it, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
That went perfectly, Denny.
Cool.
That matches up. I put it right along the seam line, so right along the stitch line that was already on the blazer, so it sits right inside of that. So I'm not worried about him sewing over my existing thread and possibly cutting that stitch line.
Cool.
So should be just right. Oh my goodness, my dance instructor is just gonna have a field day when I show up to dance class this afternoon. Gonna have the coolest jacket ever. Oh, maybe not today, actually. I'd have a cool half jacket. That's okay. Lopsided things are fun. I see ladies wearing like 2 different earrings all the time. I can't pull it off. I've never tried to pull it off, honestly. I might be able to.
All right,
But-
correct me if I'm wrong. The new deal is 2 different shoes and 2 different socks. Am I
I
wrong?
don't know. Kids, is that what's happening these days?
Different socks is one thing. Different shoes.
I mean, if you had, like, if I had Converse and I had a
Yeah,
bunch of
like
different
a
pairs of
red or
Converse,
blue,
yeah, that I could see.
I did that in high school. I wear like green and black ones or.
Michael, it's just all practice. Just practice, 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 and you will be as good as Bevelin as Denny is.
Yeah. That. Hey, I have nothing on any of you guys. I've just done it a lot.
Yeah.
You just got to be willing to stay broke for all your life and tool every day.
Well, Denny, are you ready to sew this thing up?
Yeah, now's
Okay.
a good time.
Now's a good time.
I think. Change a leaf here. Get stuff out of my way and get a drink.
You might need to watch out for my button.
Yeah.
That's
I
going
was
to be real
thinking about
close.
that.
You want me to take it off? I could sew it back on.
If you wouldn't mind.
I don't.
Would that bother you?
Nope. I'm going to be like the dry cleaner. I learned that dry cleaners should take your buttons off before they do their thing. Or some of them, I don't know. But that kind of blew my mind. I was like, really? You know how hard that would be to keep track of? All those buttons going to everything?
Oh, what would you do? You'd have to have so many little envelopes
I
full of
know.
buttons and say, well, I forgot to mark this one. Let's put it with this coat.
I wonder who these buttons belong to. Good gracious. Well, Express, you did a really good job of putting this button on here. All right, that should be good enough, and then it'll tell me where it goes back.
All right. I'm going to start up here on this edge.
Listen, Heath, the 80s and the 90s and all the decades are just melding into the 2020s.
Is it all possible for the lamp to go up just a little?
Perfect.
Okay, here we go, folks. Okay.
Yeah, well, Heath, you should look that up. I also didn't know that. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't know if it was a TikTok that I was watching a while ago, but something that I was watching a while ago. They were talking about dry cleaning, and maybe it's in any case, and yeah, they take your buttons off and then they put them back on. What? Look at that. Okay, everybody, hold your breath.
I'm holding mine.
It's 4 to 5 ounce, guys. This was 4 to 5 ounce Herman Oak. And it's pretty supple now that you've got it all tooled and oiled up and finished. It moves pretty well.
Yeah, when you have the tape on it, you think this is going to be kind of stiff. Then you take that tape off and it changes life.
Mm-hmm. Look how slow. Look at that beautiful Class 26. Pivot.
That is a nice machine.
Yeah, I don't think that button would have been well there.
Yeah. Sorry for wadding your coat up, but
That's all right. Looks great.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Can you engage reverse at any old time in the stitch, or is it better when the stitch is complete? You only want to do it when the stitch is complete, because otherwise you can run the risk of wadding it up at the bottom. So you typically reverse, like you can either walk it back, or these machines, you know, like they have a reverse lever that you can push, and then it will go back on its own, and it should go back as long as you push the lever all the way down. It should go back the same distance that it went forward. But even for this situation, depending on what, you know, Denny does, since you're going all the way around the object, you wouldn't necessarily have to backstitch on your first stitches. You know, you could just come back around and sew back over your first ones and lock the stitch.
Did.
But he did.
Did backstitch.
Yeah,
and
he
I
did.
want to backstitch on this final stitch too, because I don't want to go around the corner.
There you go. This is a class 26, Dawn. Little Fear, all I'm telling you is what I heard on the internet. I mean, you look at how much do we really know about dry cleaners? I don't know anything. I just know I take my clothes there and then they come back in there clean. I don't know what happens in the spinny world of the dry cleaners. It's like the biggest mystery. What does that even mean? Why is it called? They still wash it and drop, like, it's still,
That's
I
what
don't
I
know.
always wondered.
Yeah.
How can you clean something dry?
We should do, is there a Dirty Jobs on dry cleaning? Because I would watch that episode.
Well, you know, now the Native Americans used to use sand to clean their buckskin, and I would say that's where dry cleaning came from.
All right. I know it's...
I just made that up, you guys.
Maybe I'll go get a part-time job at a dry cleaners for a month. Maybe I'll go be like you guys want to intern? Can I intern so I can learn how this mystery works?
I just do it for one day.
Right? Right. I'll just go and be like, hey, I will still pay you to dry clean my clothes, but can I watch you as you do it? Can I just follow you through the dry cleaners? Look at that.
That came out pretty darn good.
Amen. Look how awesome. I mean, I'm going to put
Put
it on.
that on, yeah. Don't lose your button.
Okay. There should be another one sewn on here somewhere.
No, the other one's a buttonhole on the other side.
Oh,
on
well-
this side.
They usually come. Look at that. That's going to be pretty snazzy.
That does look good. You are a little lopsided, though.
Yes, but
People would notice.
it's a little bright here on this one side. It's like the queen's lapel that she wears, you know. She's got her little. It's a sash.
Yeah.
Or she did. She did. Rest in
That
peace.
looks pretty good.
It does.
I like it.
I think that's gonna be sweet. Alrighty, lapel. So yeah, Little Fears over here on like a dry cleaning escapade on the internet. I'll also look up some things. We can talk about it later. Let's hear. I think I already said 4 to 5 Herman Oak. It's pretty great. Oh my gosh, this is great. We might have to do the collar.
We might.
We
yes.
might.
I wonder how that would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because it would just be a separate. Anyways, we might do a collar too. We'll get there.
Yeah, especially if you offset it up here the same that you offsetted from the seam.
Yeah.
So there's a little break there.
Uh-huh.
It would look neat.
Yeah, that would look pretty cool. Alrighty, well, Denny's going to finish this other one. We'll sew it on just like we did this one. So, it's nothing new there. Hi, Looms. You going to say hi? Alrighty, well, that was today, and it's 12:01.
Nice.
We did it.
Yeah.
So, hope everybody enjoyed that. Say hi.
I enjoyed it because I didn't screw anything up.
Yeah, it went really well. I told Denny, I was like, you should just go ahead and finish one. Because we did this for a long time. Denny would come in here and he would do the whole project. But then it would be too wet to sew. And so when he sewed it, then you would get all the feet marks. Or, when we were finishing some of the stuff that we just did, the finish didn't have long enough to dry, and then you get streaks in your antique, and there's always these like little loopholes. So we're being a little bit better about pre-prepping some stuff so that we get good results when we're done, because we like that feeling too.
Also, I have to reprimand myself for bad mouthing Master's Quick Shine. You know, it's that one bottle.
It's just that one can. I do know that they did have.
That's what I used on that. Look how perfect it
It was. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I just love it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Alrighty, guys, go out there, buy a blazer, tool yourself some lapels. We'll be the cool lapel kids.
Yeah, you can do them for your Sunday school teacher.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just somebody said I could go to the White House dinner now. So if anybody wants to give me an invite to the White House dinner, I would be there. We'll do that. I need to go to Washington, D.C. I've never been there before.
Me either.
We
Oh,
should.
I have. I've been through it.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
I'm sure there's a lot of traffic.
Driving through it is not fun.
So.
L.A. just thinks they've got problems.
Let's see here. Alrighty, so next week we have, it is the last week of the month. So next week we will have our roundtable with Rusty and Kevin talking about whatever's new at Springfield Leather, or whatever it is that they want to talk about. And then Friday we'll be back with trading cards. So last Friday of the month is always trading cards. So Kevin and Denny will be in here. I've had Kevin in here tooling so many times this month. I feel so accomplished.
And at the round table, you can wear your blazer.
I will wear my blazer for the roundtable next week. Rusty and Kevin are going to look at me and be like, what should we pay you for again?
You need one of those staffs like the Queen has with a ball on it, a crystal ball. A scepter.
The Queen of Leather. I wouldn't mind that. Alrighty, guys. Well, everybody have a wonderful weekend. I hope it's sunny wherever you guys are. And we will see you next week.
All right, bye-bye.